The seductive styling of the 2022 Mazda CX-9 elevates your idea of what a three-row CUV can be.
Get 0% financing on a new Mazda CX-9 at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda.
That would be concerning and maybe set a precedent moving forward.
If you had plans to be outside, you might hit a couple of these little passing showers.
A drug bust and a few arrests made. Look at what they hauled in here.
We're doing it.
Yeah, we keep doing it, apparently. Welcome to WAFB Plus at 9 News Now. Every morning, roughly 7:02 and 14 seconds. So just enough time to sell a few things on the commercials.
I think so. Welcome
right
to QVC. I mean 9 News Now, where we're selling you a beautiful sunrise here of the capital city. Our producer Jacob got with Dr. Steve to paint up this beautiful picture, and they said, you know what, call it up for our 9 News Now, folks.
And it is good. Well, actually, Jacob said, you know what, make this happen because it would look good with your dress.
He wasn't wrong.
He ain't wrong.
Yeah.
He ain't wrong. Okay, so here's the thing, Steve. I bring the gloomy, obviously, with the gray. You guys painted up this fantastic sunrise. It really was an incredible rise of that sun this morning.
Yeah, we got some pretty color as you look off to the east, but already the gloom is kind of moving in, Matt. Thanks for that. You can see the clouds kind of filling in. Sarah Sky Night Camera brought to you by Our Lady of the Lake. It's comfortably cool. We'll start out this morning, Baton Rouge 59, New Roads, Hammond 58, 60 to 61 as you go south of I-10. We're dry inland, so no issues with rain here, I think, through the morning commute. We are seeing a few showers starting to show up offshore and trying to move inland. We'll gradually start to see some of those making their way inland as the morning progresses. But I do think for most of us through the morning hours, just a few spotty showers, temperatures around 70 at noon, 75 for a high today, scattered showers and a few storms. Big game at Tiger Park this evening. LSU hosting #1 ranked Oklahoma, the defending national champs in. We'll have to keep an eye on radar. Right now, I've got rain chances around 30%, temperatures low 70s, falling down into the upper 60s. Let's give you a look at that on future radar. Again, you'll see some of these showers trying to move inland through the morning, mostly south of I-10. That's noon. We advance it now to 4 o'clock, and the HRRR generating scattered showers and a few storms. Starting to see a little more rain inland. Here we are at 7 o'clock. Rains most numerous along the coast, but we see some scattered activity near and south of the interstates, and that continues right on through midnight. Now let's take you into tomorrow. You'll see here in the morning, starting out with scattered rains mostly south of I-10. The HRRR continues to be aggressive with the rainfall tomorrow. By 1 o'clock, showing a good bit of rain overspreading the area, and into the afternoon has widespread rainfall impacting us. That is because it has low pressure centered a little bit southwest of Baton Rouge tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. The graph model not shown here keeps that low a little bit east of us, and by contrast keeps it much drier. Still some uncertainty on those rain chances tomorrow. Here's what the Weather Prediction Center has for rain amounts through Friday morning. Heaviest along the coast. Maybe 1.5 to 3 inches of rain in our coastal parishes. Baton Rouge to New Orleans, down around Morgan City, 3/4 of an inch to 1.5 inches on average. And as you go west and northwest of Baton Rouge, 3/4 of an inch or less on average. So some scattered rains today, especially this afternoon, this evening. Highs in the mid-70s. Better rain chances tomorrow. Still some scattered rains Thursday, I think mostly during the first half of the day, trending drier into Thursday afternoon. Friday should be completely dry, a little bit warmer, a high of 82. But then here comes the rain again. Cold front approaching Saturday, good rain chances. Those rains should move out probably before daybreak Sunday. That's the good news as the front moves through. So most of Sunday looks dry. Early next week, we're back to dry weather with the mild temperatures as well. It's 7:06 now with a check on your Tuesday morning commute. Here's John.
Thank you, Scotty. We're looking pretty good on the interstate. Mom and Dad still have to go to work today and this week, even though schools are out. So we're seeing a little bit of traffic, not coming out of Denham, but when you get crossing the Amite River and get into East Baton Rouge Parish, starts to get a little bit slow there and a little bit slow at the 1012. There's a live shot of the Millerville Road area looking back toward O'Neill, and then I-12 at the 1012 merge. Drive times are okay. Usually we're seeing about 30 or 40 minutes from Denham to Baton Rouge at 7 o'clock. We're only seeing about 15 minutes, and normal's like 10 or 11 from Juban to the 1012. So that's all good news this morning at 7 minutes after 7. The wrecks are clear, and that ramp that I was telling you about earlier today, the loop that takes you from I-12 East, looping over to 59 North over in Slidell, that is open. as they still investigate an earlier overturned vehicle. 7:07, and we go back to the other studio for Liz and Matt and a glance at today's headlines. Guys?
Johnny, it's been a busy morning in your world. It's surely to be a busy place over at the state capitol again today.
Legislative session underway, right? So yesterday, kind of that half day, they gavelled in at noon o'clock, and so today going to be that first full day as lawmakers get back to it. The headline reads, several proposals up for debate. Yeah, quite several. It's 600 plus bills on the House side, 200 plus bills on the Senate side, and they've all got to kind of come to some form of confluence, right? Debated and voted on, and those that get passed, will they receive the signature from the governor? A lot going on, and there are some heavy topics to get into.
Including abortion, insurance, education, teacher salary, teacher pay.
Oh, gosh.
You name it, among those hundreds and hundreds of bills, there's a topic that impacts you and your family. So
Always.
if you're looking for an easy way to kind of catch up with it all,
Right there.
did you know that there's a new app? LA Lege. That's L-A-L-E-G-E.
So is it, do they pronounce it Lalege?
That's a good question. I don't
Like
know.
legislature? Like
I haven't
Lalege?
heard anyone officially say it.
Well, as you type it in, it's
Yeah.
going to be that L-A and then L-A-G and L-E-G-E. So the whole idea is to try to simplify something that can be kind of complicated at times. And by at times, I mean 90% of the time.
Yes.
Because you get into a lot of the legalese and lawmakers speak. And so how are you able to break it down? How do you know what committees are meeting where and when and what they're talking about and who's talking and can you be there? All of that right there in this brand new app. It really is a good way for you to follow along with conversations that you should know about.
And what's pretty cool is that it's a free app, and you can actually broadcast Senate and House committee meetings. You can hear debates.
Yeah.
They're trying to make it easy for you because we know day-to-day people go to work. You can't always be at the state capitol, but if you're wanting to find out what did they talk about today, or who testified, or who came and gave some testimony, you can participate it right from the palm of your hand at work or at home or while getting an oil change. How about it?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
and who doesn't want to on their lunch break, instead of live streaming a baseball game or something, live stream state lawmakers from.
There are some people out there.
There actually are. There actually are. I'm one of them, in
Yes.
fact. But knowing what's going on, critically important, and what a great tool, a great resource right there.
Yeah.
Speaking of what's going on, this happened over the weekend, but just kind of getting the details released here. A shooting in Ascension Parish involving 3 people?
Yeah, the Ascension Parish Sheriff's Office letting us know about this just within the last 12 hours.
Yeah.
This actually happened at the Hookaholics Lounge in Prairieville. So if you are in and around that area and are familiar with those parts, the Sheriff's Office tells us that they believe some kind of fight started inside of that lounge. Then, after that, the party took themselves outside. That's where a shooting happened. We haven't been told about any major injuries here.
Right.
We just told 3 people. We don't know the identities of them yet. We just know that the investigators found shell casings all over the parking lot, multiple vehicles ridden with bullets.
So what does it tell you? I mean, at some point, I mean, again, 3 people injured here as well, and so it sounds like from what investigators have released that bullets were just flying everywhere with all those shell casings and all those vehicles hit and then the 3 people hit. So once we get the very latest from Ascension Parish Sheriff's Office, working with them to get those details for you, we'll make sure to pass it along. But yeah, weekend shooting, details just beginning to come out.
Yeah.
Speaking of details,
Yeah.
that's what the I-Team is for and about, right? Kind of digging into stories, getting you a little bit more detail.
Yeah.
They're digging into the story right now of the street racing, the stunt vehicle kind of racing on our street roads here in Baton Rouge. It's happened again, Liz.
Yes, and so now our I-Team is asking Councilman of EBR Parish, Rody Gaudet, what is the next step here? Obviously, about a year ago in May of 2022, when we saw a lot of these incidents happening in our part of the world, we went to the council member and said, what is the solution here? What is the fine? What are we doing to limit this or to prevent it? And he said, well, we've got a fine. They enacted a $500 and a $1,000 fine. Well, Scotty Hunter asked him, what is the next step? It's clearly not curbing these instances.
No.
A number of 911 calls made over the weekend about this, because this didn't just happen in one part. It happened all over Baton Rouge.
And you can quickly figure out where it's going on. You'll be traveling around town, all of a sudden you see those donuts and skid marks all over the intersection. You know exactly what's happened, right? So what is that next step, right? That's what this is about, taking you down that path of possibility. And when Scotty was talking with the councilman, the possibility of this potentially being a felony was brought up. When you go from a misdemeanor to a felony, it is a whole nother, clearly it's a whole nother level. Will that be potentially more preventative? Because at this point, you know, we've talked about it very often, it's a lot of reactive right now because it's just, we haven't been able to get a hold on it. Would that be enough preventative, turning this into a felony and creating harsher penalties?
It's one of the things that the EBR Metro Council is certainly considering at this point, because people are fed up.
Yeah, they are. They're absolutely fed up. So we'll get you all caught up on all that as it kind of moves on. Want to make sure you are aware of this. ExxonMobil here in Baton Rouge sending some flares up, but nothing to worry about.
They're sending out an early warning that says starting today, you may see some excessive flaring with the ExxonMobil facility, that pipeline company, and they're really wanting to put out that all-call warning because they say people, even as far as Port Allen, may be able to see this. Obviously, people in the surrounding areas too. So if you see that flaring going off, it is a drill. This is they're trying to burn off some extra material there. So if you see it and you're concerned, don't feel the need to call the police. Call it. This is a practice drill that they are doing as for routine maintenance.
Callie Hubbard's story this morning. EMTs, critical in our part of the world, but we actually don't have enough of them right now. And those involved are trying to make sure we have enough before it gets crazy.
Well, how coincidental is it? It's National Telecommunications Week, so thank you, dispatchers, but also Acadian Ambulance is looking to train up some new EMTs. They're actually offering a new recruiting class for people to come in and get their hands on, get the skills they need to become EMTs pretty soon, actually.
All the information waiting for you right there if you want to be a part of this. And again, what an incredible career to be a part of. Speaking of serving, just going out into our little part of the world, picking up trash, that can do a lot of good.
I tell you, Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser, that is his big initiative here for the state of Louisiana. Make sure Louisiana is beautiful and it's kept beautiful. So next week we're kicking off Love the Boot Week. Part of the Loving the Boot Week is keeping Louisiana litter free.
So opportunities all next week for you to get out and be a part of this, right? And then you don't have to be a part of some official, week. Just go out and do your own thing. Keep Louisiana beautiful, that kind of thing. But if you're looking for some opportunities, right there waiting for you on the website. I don't know, Steve, Johnny, look, keeping Louisiana beautiful.
Louisiana's shaped like a boot. I get it.
Can I trade places with one of you guys?
Does he need to be put in a corner?
Yes.
He's got a corner.
He does. He's been provided with his own corner over there with internet access and everything.
Poor Steve. Just for that, we're going to put Johnny out there too with the cart alongside Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser, picking up trash alongside of the highway. It's a lesson, but also keeping Louisiana clean at the same time. Look at that. You've single-handedly just boxed him out. He's in his corner.
That's how you make it work. That's how you do it right there. Oh, see, I know it.
We're off the rails.
Yeah, always, which is kind of the idea here. Tell you what, we'll get back on the rail, 7:25 on WAFB.